I am trying to wake up. I have my coffee. It is Sunday morning, and no, it's not a soap show, but we're going to talk about some soap fans. Hello, everyone. I have a day planned today with family, but I'm up this morning to talk to you first, my online family. I'll wait for you guys to come in. In the meantime, check out my interview. Well, actually, my discussion with Alan Locker from the Locker Room. We had a really great time, an hour and a half. We could talk more. Yesterday, daytime today, about doing these interviews. That's really what we talked about yesterday. It was a lot of fun. So see anybody comes on this morning. I know it's Sunday morning, it's early as well. East Coast is 11. I need this coffee, kids, like nobody's business. I am trying. The sun is really bright one half of my house. I'm trying to wake up. Like last night went by fast. I was like, well, I laid down and all of a sudden I had to get up. And I had dreams too. I had some major dreams. Can't remember any of them right now. I remember pieces of them, but I had some really big dreams too last night. It's so weird. It went by fast. I guess it was just time to wake up. Time to wake up, bitches. Yep. Yeah. So it is Sunday, May 22nd. We are getting there. I can't believe the end of the month is almost upon us. I really can't believe that, to tell you the truth. I'm just like, okay. I'm flabbergasted. I'm supposed to, this next week is the last full week of May. And then a couple of days. The following continues, but I'm like, I'm leaving town again. I gotta finish booking these tickets. It is coming up fast. Fast. So I gotta get that together. Nobody's in here yet. Okay. So I'll start talking. Nobody's in here yet. I know it's for some people it's like early, but I think James is on 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably gonna repeat myself anyway later. Did some interviews yesterday, did some shows. Like I said, everything's at reduced capacity. I've been really enjoying it. So we'll ask you about mental health updates. I am taking care of some things. So it's really nice. In my professional world, it's the Tomlin family, Big Daddy. Hello, Miss Sarah. Hello, everybody. No, I'm taking care of, I got my professional life. I'm kind of getting some things in order and making some decisions that'll be out soon. But it's been nice working half of what I normally do. It's been nice, still not enough. I need to cut out even more, 10 more percent. I'm still smoking, I'm still busy. But I've actually had some time off, which has been wonderful. And I've been seeing more of my friends and my family, which is like a cool, weird. They're like, Uncle James is here, they can't believe it, or Papa James is here, or they can't believe it. So, doing all this stuff is nothing if I don't have anybody in my life. I mean, in my real life, I mean, it's just all this stuff just really means nothing to me after that. I just kind of, I enjoy this and I like doing this for you guys, but you have to have a personal life too. So that's where my mental health is. It's just like I'm lonely, feeling weird. There's things I'm just not in my personal life. I gotta get in order. So I'm working on some stuff in my personal life. So hopefully we'll see what happens. I have no idea. Am I all better and cured? No, of course not. Always be a work in progress. But I finally, this last week and a half, I finally have started to do that. And part of that was relaxation and everything. Hi, Janaea. And all that. But during this whole month, I'm doing a few shows here and there, right? Some show. Hi, Tracy Stevens. Good morning. Here and there. And yesterday, Alan Locker and I came on to talk and just tell people some behind the scenes on like how we do these things, how we like to do interviews, how much we love this business, the whole thing. Oh yeah, thank you. How we love interviewing, we love the stars we talk to, all that. And people in the chat room, there were three folks in particular who were starting shit already. And I was like, no, I had a question later on for Alan about that because now he's new to this thing. Hell, well, okay, V card. I don't know what that means, but happy Sunday. I was obviously a finger thing happening. Something happened there. Um, but I was going to ask him later. There you go. Good morning, Sylvia Marsh. I just love that name. Sylvia Marsh. Girl, I'm just waking up. I don't know if my day's amazing or not. I'm not sure yet. The coffee's going to help me. But there were three. I was going to ask Alan about how you feel about the haters that happen. And we got to turn it into a discussion about that. So, but there are three folks, and I'll name them: the Root King, that's ROOK, GD, whatever that means, and what's the other one? There's another one that I know all the time, and JA. What's so funny is Root King and JA for years off the, and I'm giving them more attention than they even deserve. But I just want to make it a point. These are two people, I don't know who they are, like really in real life, who've come on my live chats over the years off and on, and just apparently they don't like me or my co-host or don't like, I mean, they come on anyway and try to start mess all the time. And that is something I'm too busy to go on someone's live to start shit. I mean, I just don't have time for it. I'm not busy. I don't have the energy or time to do that. It's like so weird to me that you'll take, because I guess you have nothing else going in your life, but that's what you have to do. And it's like, so when you start this, there's just the three of them going, everybody else is like, shut up. The rest of the fans, my fans, jumped in. But I just thought, wow. And they stopped. After a while, they stopped. I don't know if they watched and stayed or they left. I know part of it's attention. You just want attention, I guess. That's just such a weird thing. But it's just so weird. I just would never, I don't know if you guys do. If I don't like somebody, I don't go to their page. You know what I mean? Like I just don't, I mean, I don't watch their stuff for the most part. It's one of the things that, I mean, okay, take that lie back. There is somebody I'm not, okay, here's the thing. So one of the things I was talking about yesterday is I made a statement on Twitter that we shouldn't censor people. Even if we don't get along, don't agree, you shouldn't censor people. One of my girls, Port Misery, who I like, got censored. Somebody reported her on Twitter, and she didn't do anything bad. Her comment was tame about one of the couples or whatever on General Hospital, and someone reported her, and so she's like in Twitter jail for like 10 days or something like that, or however that goes. I don't know how that goes on Twitter. And she has a second account, so she was able to show. So she was talking about it was just about a couple or something, and like someone got that upset and put her in, basically got her on. I mean, it didn't violate anything. Like it was so weird. But my thing is, tell Tara to unblock me. Oh, so she, oh, you guys got into it? That's funny. Here's okay. So now Sarah brings on. I gotta say something too. So someone else, people have been DMing me about they like, James, you speak your mind. We're on your side. You just tell like it is, blah blah. And I do. And this ties into the no censor. So someone in the chat was like, "Well, James, Alan, James doesn't like Michael Fairman." So blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, let me tell all of that together too. I can't speak on everybody's individual relationships with each other. One girl felt the need to tell me about Matt Hanvey, and I'm a friend of his, and we're friends. And he was like, I hate him, blah, blah. I know he's your friend. I'm like, well, if you know he's my friend, then why are you trying to, plead your case to me? Like, I'm like, that's between you guys. There are people in this business that I don't like. There is people in this business that I don't care for. There are people in this business that I unfollow and don't talk to, and get into it with. There are some people on these chats we get into it sometimes, but I never say you shouldn't have that say. You should say whatever you want, however you want, do whatever you want. If I choose to respond, I'm gonna respond. I may not respond, but my whole thing is, I don't. I have a history with him. So I mean, I actually have I have evidence and situations that I've had with Michael Fairman. I understand his place in the soap world. So I understand it. He's been around for a long time. And there are folks who do like him in the soap world, and that's fine. But I would never censor him. Right? Actually, and what's so funny is the other day, I actually recommended one of his shows. I really did. He actually did. He met with the Daytime Emmy nominees and asked them what was on their reels. And for my show, we didn't know they don't release the reels anymore. So I thought he actually got out of them what they. So I told the fans, you can watch our show, get our predictions and our thoughts. And I said, and you can go over to Michael Fairman's channel. I actually watched what he did, and I said, people go over there. So I'm not a fanatical person. I'm not a person who's just irrational, and I can look at big picture. Not everybody can do that. I can. So to me, he did a service because he got those interviews, and a lot of us want to know what the actors submitted. So I did. Now, if I was super petty, I would be like, fuck him. I'm not going to tell anything. He doesn't follow me on social media. I stopped following him, and because he wasn't supporting me at all. But I have one day I'll put it in the book. We have a long history, and so I have my reasons why I don't care for him. But it didn't start out the way. I was a huge fan of his. I thought, he was the guy that was the soap guy, and I just thought, he'd been in business for a long time. He's part of the LGBTQIA plus community, blah, 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 all of that. But and with the other soaps, it's funny. Soap press, I should say, and soap commentators, because Miss Tomlin Tara brings up, I should say her name, Port Misery. There are a lot out there. There's Port Misery, Pier 54 Sisters in General, Pier 54, 10th Floor GH with Matt Cat. There are a lot of this guy Ryan who writes for TV Source. There's Dan Kroll. There's a lot of people out there who comment on the soaps. Max Updates GH. A lot of people who comment on the soaps. My guy, there's also GH Envy. This guy Brock TV. They all been doing it. I like some of them, and I don't like others. Some get on my nerves, some don't. Some we don't agree on. I don't agree on anything they're saying. But again, I still support. I've had almost all of my shows. People like, you have rivals, and we're not rivals. There's no rivals. Everyone has a different take. That's the beauty of soap operas and shows. You can have 10 people watch a show, and you have a different reaction. There you go. But I do comment on some of their comments sometimes, and I'm like, that's not true, and that's not true. So it's some things they say it to be true, and I know it's not true. Like, I literally know it's not true. Chances are I will say something. And if that actor is a friend of mine, I always support my actors. They support me, I will support them. When I got into a fight with Robin Strasser, talk about daytime legend, Dorian Lord, everything. She went off on me, and Cassie DePaiva, who was Blair, who started there, was like, no, James loves the soap operas. Like, you have it wrong, you heard it wrong. Like, it's like, thank you, Deb, thank you, Sylvia. But it's like, but if my thing is, anybody has a right to block. Anybody has a right to mute. You can also mute people too. Everybody has a right to anything. If they don't like what you're saying, okay, then move on to something else. That's how I look at it. If you don't like my program, then don't watch my program. If you don't like Frank Moran or Lucretia Lyon or Carla Renata or Tammy Govea or Amanda Russ, or any of my folks, you don't like Tony Moore at Edition Day, then don't watch it. I mean, my thing is like, why come into the rooms and troll us? Also, yesterday, and this is just so ballsy. It's so ballsy. On Twitter, I announced I'm going to have the executive producer and co-creator of one of the #1 shows on Hallmark Channel, When Calls the Heart, on Tuesday. That's a big deal. I mean, he knows us. I'm related to his wife, actually. Small world. But we all, every end of the season, we have them on. It's a lot of producers and creators don't go on shows. They don't. A lot of them don't interact with fans. So When Calls the Heart had a controversial last season ending and storyline, divide the Hardys, blah, blah. But now this next season is almost done. Everything's been resolved, blah, blah. I posted just the announcement on Twitter, and there are a couple of folks on there who are like, screw Ryan, he's a liar, and he told us this and this, and I mean, like, start going off. He's tagged in the post. They're just going off and calling him a liar. What? Like, really? So I just responded with memes. I had one, I will pray for you. Another one, I was like, let it go. You know, I just did a couple of memes and let it go. But these people literally on a post with the executive producer on this Hallmark Channel show, they were calling him names and just being accusatory. He didn't answer so far. He may, but as long as he answers or he doesn't. I just said blah, blah, me. I'm like, I just would never do that. I guess I just would never. I guess I don't get that upset about TV shows. You know, I think part of it is attention. People want attention. I get getting involved. Again, I told Candace Mack, we love Candace Mack, the biggest cheerleader of all time of soap operas. We all know that. But I said, I will never. I need some more coffee. Another coffee, please. DC Soap Sanctuary, good morning. And yes, you were absolutely correct. They could be fucking with my money in my interview. That's what they could be doing. And they don't play people's money in their stuff, and they're hard work in this business. You want to see Hood James come out, Hood James will come out. But he knows. I mean, he knows us. He knows some of the fans are crazy. But I've never been not with anything. I guess I understand. Good morning, Kirsten. I understand being into a show and getting invested. Totally, obviously. I understand being upset when a show gets canceled. I understand when you're like, I was so into it, it got canceled. Happy Endings was one of my shows, and they got canceled. I was pissed. But I didn't like write to. I mean, I guess there's some steps I wouldn't do. And there are folks who take steps they do, and I just always wonder. Like I said, there's folks in this chat room. Sometimes, not right now. I don't see anybody in here that I fight with, but there are folks that I don't agree with on stuff. I named one. Her name is Daisy Flower 40. This halftime, I'm like, do you even like me? We don't agree on all that stuff. But every once in a while, we do agree on stuff. It's like, wow, okay. But a lot of times we don't. But that's fine. And like I said, I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. But when it comes to opinions about a storyline, you have the right to your opinion. I just go when people say things that are facts about someone's character in real life, that's when I usually jump in. Miss Shanika. That's the only time I really jump in. They're saying shit about Krista Allen one time, and I was just like, okay, now, she's my friend. I'm like, okay, no, that's not even true. I know personally that's not true. Or Michelle Stafford, I had to jump in. That's not true. I personally know that's not true. If I know them personally, and there's certainly, or I know the answer to certain things, then I do jump in and be like, no. And still fans will fight me on it. They're like, you're just ass kissing, blah blah. When I brought up Matt Hanley, there are folks who just were upset at him. But when I brought up some other person too, they were mad at that person too. I mean, like, you have a right not to like certain people. I don't like certain people. I fucking don't like Deidre Hall. I don't like Robin Straub. I mean, there's people I don't like. And usually my stuff is based on something in real life. I don't just dislike somebody to fucking dislike them. That's not for shits and giggles. I don't do that. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not a crazy person. I don't do that. Usually I have something behind it. And I usually, and see with James Bond Jr., myself, I like everybody. I've been here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be in the room, see at the table. I worked very hard to get here, 15 years in the business. I'm happy. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm ready. I'm just like, let's do this. I think I get to do something that's kind of extraordinary. I mean, I totally get. I mean, like I totally get it. I'm like, I don't take it for granted at all. That and it's not easy getting guests, you guys. Give you a call. I'm interviewing several people coming up this week that are big names. I'm very happy. I get that they trust my judgment. They trust my interviewing. Both have been interviewed by me before, years ago, but they trust me and they're like, yeah, I want to come on and do your show for the fans. They want to do it for you guys also. They want to talk to you guys and clear things up and tell you things. And I'm like, that's the point. I'm so lucky to get to do that. But then these people online, well, we'll almost try to ruin that. You're just like, don't try to ruin that for me. And there's a lot of people out there who just really want to celebrate the soaps and have a good time. Really, there's a lot of who are not into all the drama or anything. They just really want to celebrate the soaps. They want to hear what the actors have to say. It's exciting for them. I do fan shout outs sometimes when it's live. Just think they get to hear their name by their favorite art. I mean, it's like it's all for fun. It's all for fun. Oh my God. It's like, I'm in LA, so I see celebrities all the time. There are folks who are in places of the country in the world that don't. This is their closest they can get, and it's exciting. It's like, come on, I don't want to burst their excitement. Like cheese and crackers. He likes saying this. Well, for me, a DC Sanctuary, my best friend is Flobo Boys. And Flobo, has Draped in Gold. He's part of Mac Mania. All the wrestling stuff, and it's well. I also do Star Wars. I do Star Wars. It's the same universe. I do Hallmark Channel. It's the same universe. There are fans and there are fanatics. But and that's yes, the DC Sanctuary brings. Like I said, executive producers, head writers don't come on shows. They don't. Ron Calavardi's been on audition days several times, right? DC several times. And I got to interview him once. I got to actually interview him and ask him about One Life to Live, General Hospital. They don't come on shows. I had Casey Kasperzak from Bold and Beautiful, one of the supervising producers, gave us tons behind the scenes stuff. You don't come on. I had Timothy Woodward Jr., the director of Studio City. Directors don't always do interviews either. He did a great interview. We had a great time talking about who he's worked with. I'm like, people just don't, I get these folks on there and, yes, Jeannie, you're far away. So you may not say some stars come to South Africa or go to Mozambique or there's a few here and there if they're filming something, but you're right. You're not seeing, I walk down the street, I see a celebrity. I'm just very fortunate that way. And it's just, and I just feel bad for folks. I'm trying to give you the celebrities to you you can watch on your phone or your tablet or computer. And if it's live, I can have them say hi to you and you're across the world. How often will that happen to you? Probably never. I still make a video every week. I'm no longer on Twitter. My channel name is DC Subsanctuary if you ever want to find it. I like you guys just talking to each other. Have a conversation with each other in chat room. Have fun. I'm just kidding. I'm glad when you guys do connect in the chat room. I do like that. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate the kind words. I'm just shady. I'm always like, I was that comment. I'm crying. No. Well, I was just watering because whatever. A shout out to my niece, Abby. It's her birthday today, so we'll give a shout out to her. Her thing popped up. I'm going to see her later today. I have her present back there. I'm going to see her later today. But that's why I'm just shady. That's all. I'm a middle child. I always want me. That's just how I am. In a big family. That's how I am. But no, I love when you guys actually connect also and talk. So it just, I'm just shady. That's all. Oh shit! Here comes Candace Mack. Here comes Candace Mack. I said her name, and there she is. Oh, from British Columbia, Canada. Barbara Ann. I loved Vancouver and Richmond, and I went to an island out there. It was wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. I love British Columbia. Good Chinese food in Richmond and Vancouver. Loved it. I'd love to go back. We're on the West Coast. Gwen Marie. Hello, Gwen Marie. That's a nice picture of you, girl. Okay, good morning, everybody. You got 20 people coming in here. You got exile from Soap Twitter, really? Ooh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, okay. Yes, Abby's great. She's the mother of an autistic son, my nephew, and just a fun daughter. She's a good mother. She works very hard. She's a good mother. See another world. Yeah. Candace, this is fucking 1985. Like, when you watch another world? Oh my god. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something nice. I give Candace shit all the time. But I love Candace Beck. I do. I really I know people are like, do you even like her? No, I do. I love Candace Beck. I do. And I know DC, I was being funny. I know you're being funny. I was being funny too. I know it's hard to translate. But I do. And Candace Beck is actually one of the nicest, sweetest people you'll ever meet. She really is. She is. And she's surrounded by crazy folks. Because we're all crazy in this business. We're all crazy. Then we're all fighting with each other. And she's in the middle of it, just kind of like trying to kumbaya us all the way. And see, 82, 85, 82, whatever. But Candace Beck really is actually one of the nicest people. So I always give her shit all the time. But I do sincerely say that I do love Candace. One year, I was home. It was actually during a pandemic. She actually sent me a Venmo to buy myself some gumbo one year because I wanted some and I didn't have any money or anything. And she actually sent me, I'll never forget that. She sent me money, said, here you go, buy something for yourself, whatever. And I will never forget that. So in all seriousness, she is like, I feel sorry for her all the time because we're all crazy. We're all crazy. All of us. Crazy. But I do. I really do love it. I do. It's great. I'm just shady. Flobo calls me the crazy uncle. He says I'm Red Fox incarnate. I am loud. I cuss. I speak my mind. I'm a big black man with all this goddamn hair. But I love hard. I feel hard. I cry on TV shows. I laugh on TV. My crazy laugh on TV shows. I share my life. I share what I'm feeling. I do it all. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm sure there are folks out there who just like hate my guts by the side of my voice and my hair. But I do really feel like this is my calling. And I do love people and I love you guys. And I don't take it for granted at all. When 25 people come in on a Sunday just to hear me talk crazy or talk serious or talk funny or whatever, I totally appreciate it. I really do. I take it. And some folks are like, well, 25 people, that's not a lot of people. To me, it's a lot of people. I've had hundreds and people in my chat rooms too. I've had both. But you know what? I like this. I like this. And I'll fight with you guys. I'll cuss at you guys. I'll scream at you guys. But I'll also love you guys at the same time. And it's. I resign myself. This is my life. This is my life. Oh, don't worry, Sam. I'm not gonna cut it. I didn't come it today. Let's see. Casback has a question. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, James, question from the public. But when is the ISA winner who is sometimes on both live at his quote unquote their cheerleader at South Carolina Daytime Day? Baby steps. No, you'll be on at some point when I'm ready for you. No, you're already on my other. You already invaded my other show, the email, and I'm like, she has to come back next season. Like you added so much to it. You'll be on at some point. We'll get you on here. Yeah, you're on Bold Live. I can't even get there. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you, Sylvia. You like my personality? My personality is crazy. You're already a star, Candace. You don't think you'd be on my show. Oh, you know it, right? Isn't this great, Sarah? It was given to me. I didn't buy it. So it was given to me. I love this. Maurice Bernard has one. I forgot what his says on his. I have this one. I have Choosing Hope. I have both of those. But they were given to me. I didn't buy them. Yeah, Ray Dunn. You know me and my mugs. My mugs. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. That's actual. Okay, fine. It was an actual question from the public. It was a real public. She said from a public. A real question via Twitter. Tell them when James is ready. He'll have you on there. I don't know when. It'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise. You know, you'll be on there at some point. We'll get you. I promise you come on at some point. I'm not ready yet. We'll get there. She is. Candace good on the email. They're all gets good. I love it. Her and Christina are hilarious. I'm like, oh God, I gotta add her on that now. Yeah. That was a girl who was ready to say the words like as impossible. Yeah. That's so funny. Hey, wait a minute, Kat, I brought you on. You're on my. Candace is also part of it. Candace is already half my world. Candace is also part of my daytime Emmy specials, and people love them. Candace, people are telling me how much they love our Emmy specials, and so Candace will be back on that too. I don't like you both. I feel like you both know where the dead bodies are buried in soap industry. Yes, we do. So I gotta say about that. You guys don't understand. There's a lot of stuff. So one of the folks who was starting crap at my show yesterday is here today, defending themselves. And I still feel like I don't know what elitists, I don't know how I and Alan are elitists, because I talk to everyone in the soap world. And also, I know that people get upset when I tell them this is the truth. I know folks get upset and they feel like I'm talking down to them. And so people will say things like, I'm elitist, or I feel like I'm a know-it-all, or whatever. I'm like, no, I don't know it all. I don't know everything. But there are things I do know. And so I express them to you because I want you to know. And so I don't want people spreading things. This is how rumors things start. People spread stuff that's not true. And as it gets around and somehow becomes the truth, and trust me, a lot of the actors see it. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. Some respond, some don't. But if I'm on, they're my friends, or something's going on a show that I know exactly what's going on, I express it. And so some folks, like GD is saying, will say, just because you work in entertainment, they'll use that also against me. And it's like, but no, it's because I work in entertainment in this particular field with these particular people and know behind the scenes stuff. I can speak on it. I will never speak on something I don't know. Never. I will never. There are folks who do all the time. I will never. If I'm not sure about something, I will not speak like I'm an authority on it. I'll never do that. That's just dumb. If I hear rumor myself or speculation, I will always say that. I'll always say, well, I kind of heard the same thing, or I kind of know this. I kind of heard this, or I'll say, I've met that person. It's never happened to me. Like there's certain things I will always clarify what's going on. But also, I guess the number one thing for me is, why would you come to someone's chat room and call them names or accuse them of something? I mean, you can say what you want, GD, but I'm not a fan of yours. So, I mean, you can call me whatever the fuck you want. But my thing is, I would just never come to someone's chat room to tell them that while I try to do something positive. So you can say, I guess you could say, well, I don't think they're being positive, even though everything we were trying to talk about was the positive experiences of hosting these shows, doing the interviews. But to come in and like you're doing right now, and just kind of, well, no, just it's my, you can defend, you say whatever you want. I don't. I've never been called elitist in my entire life. I'm a black man in America. I can't be elitist. I can't even be that. I wish I could be elitist. I wish I could be uppity. I wish I could be, all these things. I'm not rich. I have a modest home and modest income, and again, black in America. So I'm like, I'm not driving a fancy car, nothing. And so I just think I just would never do that to somebody else's live. I just wouldn't come in. If it's a storyline situation and we're going back and forth on storyline, that's one thing. That's what this is about. If you're like, well, James, I think the story, I think you hate Carly because blah, blah, blah. Then I would go, okay, well, let me tell you why I don't like Carly. Now I do like Carly. I do. But I'm saying to use an example that I would just, I don't know, it's just one of those, it's just one of those things that I'm like, it's a different story when it comes, because I said there are people in this chat, not in this chat, but in chats I've had, where we seriously don't see the story the same. And that's fine. I have co-hosts who don't see the story the same. Me and Frank all the time don't disagree on stuff all the time. So that's just kind of, that's all I'm gonna say about that part. And that's why I came on. I was like, that's just, to me, it's kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't say to their face, hi, I enjoy aspects of your YouTube channel, but you're this. I guess that's just me. I would never do that. Even if I thought it, even if I told my friends this, I would just never, I don't know how that's a positive thing. But most of the time I'm on here talking about positive stuff, trying to like bring that into the world. There's so much negativity out there already. It's like, I don't need to have to join in on the negativity. So that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me. And it's like, but again, using the word elitist, you're saying it's not a name. That I don't understand the use. There's only the word means one thing. So I don't know what I don't know, unless you're using the word wrong or you're thinking of another word. I get, I just want attention. I have no idea. But my chat rooms are supposed to be a safe space for everybody to talk and bounce off ideas and try to be mostly positive when we can in here, unless we're all feeling the same way about something. Then we get down. We try to be funny in here and silly. I can't, I don't go out of my way to ban people. I blocked a few folks who are actually being nasty and saying homophobic remarks. We don't do that. Those are names that we're not going to do. Or negative black remarks. Then yes, I will ban you or block you from stuff. But I most of the time, like, you have your right to think whatever you want. I guess think whatever you want. But that won't make, if I know who your online name is, I will always have a side eye to you because I'm like, okay, well, there you go. That you're not really a fan of mine. You're just trying to get attention. And that to me, I will never understand. I haven't been online that long in terms of, I did MySpace a little bit towards the end. But like I wasn't on message boards or things like that. I just don't do that stuff. I heard it's a lot, it's worse, like on Reddit and stuff, I heard it's worse. I think I have a membership on Reddit, but I don't watch it or read it or look at it or anything. It's just too much. It's just too toxic. It's just people bitching and complaining 24/7. And I feel bad for those who want to be who actually like that particular project. They want to talk about something positive. And they're getting attacked for even liking it. I had to leave a Dynasty group recently because this guy came after me because I liked the new Dynasty. Now, you have a right not to like the new Dynasty. Okay, that's fine. And we went back and forth a little bit. But he kept attacking me and I stopped talking. I was like, he obviously doesn't like the new dynasty. I totally get it. But then I couldn't post anything about the new dynasty in there, even though there were other folks who liked the new dynasty. But I couldn't, you know, I could, I just, I couldn't, I couldn't, I couldn't get out of it. It's like every time I mentioned one little aspect, he was the first one to jump on it. And even though folks would defend my thoughts, it was completely, so he had an agenda. His agenda was, I hate the new dynasty and fuck you all. That was his agenda, obviously. But it got so bad, I had to like leave. I left the group. 3 months later, he's like, hi, you want to come back in the group? No, I'm come back in the group because you're a freak. I'm like, no, I don't want to come back in the group. You literally attacked me, like, on and on and on about how the show is horrible. Then you got mad because I stopped talking to you. And I was like, because you were saying crazy shit, I stopped talking to you. It was bizarre. It was bizarre. And I know his name, I'm not gonna say it. But just was like, whenever I see his name, I just cringe. I had to block him on all social media. That's why, like, he was messaging me every 5 minutes, like just insane stuff. And I'm like, that's insane. That's you have a problem. So I said, no, let me get out of that. Because it wasn't positive. Like, I didn't like the new Dallas. You know, it's like, I didn't like New Dallas, but I didn't attack folks who liked the New Dallas. We just went back and forth, we talked about it. You know, yeah, he's like, but it's like, this person saying, I don't know if it's a he or she, this person saying, it's not a negative idea about you or anyone, just an observation and experience. Right. I'm like, you don't know me, so I don't know why, you don't know me personally, so I don't know how you would know, and I can look back at all my hundreds of shows, and I don't think I exhibited that at all. Like I said, I've never been called that ever in my entire life, ever. Never been in my entire life. You know, it's just, I just like, I don't know, again, you came on a show, and that was your first remarks to me and Alan Locker. There was not a positive remark, not anything. And then you got a couple of people who were like agreeing with you. And those two other people, I know who they are, and they don't like me. So I know that they were going to, of course, join in. So, hello, Ethel. Hello. Drinking coffee? So I'm saying, I'm like, people who know me, I can get 20,000 people in the industry will tell you how I'm not an elitist, if that's the word you're trying to use. I'm not. It's not. They'll tell you I'm not. I'm one of the nicest people in Hollywood. I stop open to everybody. Like, elitist means you're not open to everybody. You are, you think you're at a higher plane, and then you cut people off at a certain level. That's kind of what it means. So I'm like, no, I don't do that. If I don't like someone, it's because I have actual experience with them to not like them. When it comes to storylines, I mean, that's all interpretation. That's just, I mean, everybody just has their, I like the story. I like Gladys on GH, and there are folks who hate Gladys. Because Frank hates her. And I know Bonnie Burroughs, and she loves that Frank hates her. And she thinks it's hilarious. She'll message me like, oh my God, Frank is so hilarious. Tammy Govea didn't like Thomas. And Jay Matt Atkinson and her used to play that up all the time. So I was like, we used to laugh all the time. Oh, Brown, hey, Brown 821. I'm hardly ever on Facebook. I said, it's so weird. I'm part of these groups. And some of the groups are great, but some of the groups are just like, ooh. There's Tony Moore, my chocolate twin. Like, no one comes with A's. That's like it is. That's Tony Moore. Woo! Tony Moore got attacked. They got attacked. Edition Days got attacked. There are the Edition Days Awards, folks, nominations. And people were attacking Edition Days for their selections. That's what I'm telling you. People just, because they have their own agendas. People have their own agendas. They have their own agendas. Everybody say hi to Tony. I think everyone on this broadcast can learn now. It's okay to make references on content discussed in shows for editing. Nobody can make personal references. Yeah, it's like this GD person acts like they know me or something. I'm like, they observed me, and so they think they have an idea of me. Like, you don't actually, unless you watch every single piece of content I've ever put out I know it's like, but you don't know anybody. We don't know anybody unless you really know them. Like you don't know anybody. Oh, anybody at all. It's just crazy. And I talk about this stuff because I know it may seem like wasting energy, but I talk about this stuff because it's important to talk about it because we do seem. I mean, once I get off of here, my life goes on. I mean, everything's going to go on. It's fine. I'm not going to take his remarks or her remarks so heavily that I'm going to fall onto the ground. But I'm just saying, yeah, where is sin? You hate them. Exactly. They seriously, they went, I saw a whole thread. They went to town in days. Went to town. It's crazy. It's like, first of all, this is just some little fun awards thing that they're doing. Like, this isn't life and death situation. You look at it, you just go, even, and a lot of times you do it, you put something out there, you're thinking it's totally safe and whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's like, you wake up, you're like, what? So yeah, so and so my thing is, you think whatever you want to about me. I can't control it, and I can't control it. I'm not going to try to control it. But I like talking about this because these are like learning lessons for myself, for others, just to know there are people out there who just are. There are all kinds of people who are in these chats, who respond to the tweets, who go on Instagram, on Instagram lives, and I want you guys to know just kind of what I deal with on a regular basis. I mean, I love what I do, and I love this whole thing, but I'm just saying that this is something that we deal with, and I think we should talk about it more, and try to dismantle some of it, and just go, it's just not acceptable to me. I just think, you don't know me, and you think you do, and you don't, and I can't change minds. And if you want to feel that way about me, then have at it, I guess. I mean, if that makes you feel better, then have at it. But I do try my best to just give you real stuff so you know what's going on. Just real life, what's going on, how it kind of is. Give you some insight just to kind of fill you in and give you more insight to what goes on in this business. And I said, if something is my opinion, I will say it's my opinion. I'll always say that. And if I say something is fact, I'll tell you it is fact. But folks, I just think, I'm choosing to be on here. I'm choosing to talk about stuff that does attract all kinds of people. I know that. When I first started, it was a little weird. That was almost 8 years ago. But I'm learning as I go along. It's just that's part and parcel of being online in certain fandoms. It is what it is. And again, there are people I don't like. I don't watch them. There's some folks you can like. Okay, well, there are some folks you can like parts of. You can still watch parts of them. Like I said, with the Michael Fairman thing, I was like, he actually got people to talk about what their reels were. Actually, that is something we all wanted to know. So I promoted him. Now, he would never promote me, ever. He wouldn't. He would never. Tony, okay, Candace, Tony want to hear from you. You don't want. He don't be calling him. He don't want to hear from you. But I'm like, but I feel like that was actually because there's certain other soap press that don't support me or Tony. They don't support us at all. We do these amazing interviews, and they don't give a shit about us. They don't. And yeah, I cuss. And I swear and cuss and fuck this and fuck that and fuck you. I cuss sometimes. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You don't like it, don't watch me. Tracy Boyd. Hey, James. New here and love your format. I love it. Thank you for what you do. I have to keep reminding myself that humans are inherently unhappy and miss me less company. Keep doing you. Yes. Thank you, Tracy. I'll take it. Yeah, tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what you gotta do, folks. It's like, again, human behavior is a very interesting thing, and the brain is a very interesting organ. I'll say that. So if you feel like you're putting out positivity in the world by doing certain actions, then I can't argue with that. Then I guess that's you think it's good. Then good. Do you think telling somebody there's something while they're talking, chatting about something positive, you feel like that's a good thing to do? Then there you have it. I can't argue with crazy. So that's, you can take that however you want. And you're invited to not come to my channel and watch my stuff, not support me. I have no problem. I've lost supporters during the masking stuff. I lost supporters through Black Lives Matter. I'm like, either things that I stand for that either affect me or affect my allies, that I will always stand for. I'm for trans rights. I'm for women's rights. I'm for indigenous people's rights. You know, I'm all this stuff. And if people don't like it, I know I've lost some people. I posted the Taraya video, and I had folks telling me, James, it's disgusting. How can you support lesbianism? And I'm like, what? Like, my channel supports everything queer. Like, hello, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, it was a beautiful wedding. If you watch Y&R, it was a beautiful, beautiful, tasteful, funny ceremony. And it made history. It was the first same-sex couple wedding on Y&R's 49-year history. And it's important to show representation. And Cameron Grimes and Kate Fairbanks did a beautiful job. So did Joshua Morrow, so did Sharon Case. I mean, so did Michael Mealer. I mean, it was a beautiful ceremony. And that folks called me a faggot and a faggot lover and a dyke lover. And I'm like, I don't need to hear that language first thing in the morning. I'm sorry to say it to you guys, but I'm like, you know, I'm just like, but that's the point. It's just kind of like, what's going on here? It's like the haters are just coming out. They did not want to see this. And that's the point. We got to see it. It's happening in real life out there in the world. It's part of the world. You know, we're all humans. It's a part of the experience. Also, it's a soap opera telling a story. You don't have to even like the story. Who cares? But why are you gonna come on my channel and call me names? And they will defend their right to call me names. It will sound just as calm as GD did, and was like, and will just continue to call me names like they're brushing their teeth. And I'm supposed to go, okay, well, since you feel that way, that's great. Keep watching the channel. I'm like, what? No, I went off on these people. I was like, no, we will not be doing that today. It's like that, not on my channel, do it somewhere else. You know, it's like, it's just, you know, like, whatever, yeah, go away. We don't care about you. And it's just completely stupid. But I have that all the time. Real life is messy. Real life, there's cussing. Real life, there's dirt, there's lies, there's truth, there's a lot of things in real life. You know, and in life, there are lesbians, there are gay folks, there are bi folks, there are trans folks, there are interracial marriages, there are intergenerational marriages, there are interfaith marriages. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, and I support all of that. I support all of that. You know, and I just think that and in my spaces, that's what we support. Whether I do it or not has to do with me, it has nothing to do with the point. It's like, I support it. And so that's why I'll come on these shows and I'll talk about it and bring it to attention to people and bring it out there, because I just think it's very important to talk about. You know, there are things that aren't discussed. And it's just kind of things like, don't give it this, don't give it this. I'm like, well, sometimes you got to bring it out and just like talk about it. And like I said, I'm not upset. I'm not running around crying and all that stuff. I just feel like, let's bring it out. Let's put it out into the air so it will dissipate at some point. And maybe somebody watching who's borderline feeling that way will go, well, why do I feel that way? Like, or well, you know, something will come from that, right? You just never know, right? I learn things all the time. I learn stuff every day. I do. The education never stops. Nikki had to leave numerous days groups. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ali Chanel stuff. Right. Thank you, Janae. I'm taking the hugs, virtual hugs. I just think that, you know, I just think that it's, you know, somebody said to me one time, you just bring up race all the time. Yeah, I bring up race. I'm black. I'm black. You know, Jeannie, and sometimes I do block or mute, but sometimes I don't. You know, I don't. I think people a lot of times will go away. There are a lot of folks who just kind of, they dissipate. They get tired. They move on to something else. there is a former, how am I going to say this? There is a former collaborator that I used to work with here on JLJ Media who decided to reach out to me yesterday. And so I accepted the reach out and I did respond, but I was calm and I was respectful, I feel. I was very careful of my words and I'm sure my point got across, but I wasn't mean. I did well. I think it was. I guess it could be interpreted being mean. I guess, but I wasn't. My intent wasn't to be mean. I didn't yell, cuss, anything. I didn't swear and stuff. I just simply was like, "Thank you for those words," and reiterated what our relationship was and how I did enjoy it, and how it was important, how we'll be forever linked. But that's it. That's funny, David. And that's it. I have moved on from our collaboration. I can't trust you. Once the trust is broken, you're done. And I wish I could trust this person, but I can't. But I have no reason to come after them because life just, we the situation split, and so we took care of that. It was like, you made a decision, I made a decision, we did it. There's nothing more for me. I wouldn't continue to come after that person. And I haven't. I really haven't since our split. I haven't. And I just think that's the mature way to go. It's like, stick to the facts and move forward. There's just no reason for me to keep coming after you or say things about you or, making your life miserable. Like, that's not the point. Some partnerships come to an end. Just like in life, some friendships are for a season, they always say. That happens. And then you have to kind of move on. And I'm too busy. I guess one of the things I think that helps me get over stuff is I'm so busy that I don't have time to sit on it. Idle hands are the devil's work, they say. I believe that to be true very much. But I was like, I'll respond. I will respond. And and here you go. I mean, it's where it lands. And you'll probably get the message through my response. But life has gone on at this point. And I hope life went on for that person. Life's going on for me. We're all good. It's one of those things where it's like, it's yes. It's just yeah. So it's just life. But life goes on. And that's how I look at it as. It's people move on. And that's it. That's what it is. You just have to move on. And some people you can rekindle. Some people you can go back. I have a friendship that we didn't talk for 12 years. Then we saw each other and our friendship's better than ever. Like, we talked it all out and we came back. And it was a three-way friendship. We all three got together. We heard this person's concerns. We didn't realize that was the issue. Apologies were made. And actually, life's been better ever since. And we've been friends again for like the last 12 years. I'm actually writing a short story about that. Because I think it's so I always say you can go back sometimes. Sometimes you need a break. You need to grow up. You need a break. You need to grow up and experience some life, have some things happen. And then you come back and you're like, okay. And then there's some people, it's dead. Like, it's just over, it's dead. And in this business, trusting people is a real tough thing. And so if you have anybody around you in these inner circles, you have to make sure you can trust them. You have to make sure. You have to make sure you can trust them, because you can't, then your relationship is doomed to fail. You guys all know that anyway. You guys all know that. It's just one of those things. You have to make sure that people you surround yourself with, you can actually trust them. If you can't trust them, but I'm also a bigger person that I do know in big picture items. If you create something together with somebody and it's good and successful, it's like for me, it's like having a child. I may not be friends with the baby mamas, but we created this beautiful child. That's our legacy. And so I'm always grateful. I can always look back at that and be grateful for that. Oh, always. Like that. I have co-hosts I don't work with anymore that I miss. But I can go, I can go on YouTube and watch us in our prime. I had another partnership. They ended with me. They cut out on me. And I was salty for a year. But then I had to realize, and then now I see them doing another thing and they're doing great. I was like, their time with me was done. It was useful for that time. This person does love me. This person does care about me. But this person found someone else. They felt they had, I guess, stronger chemistry, and they wanted to go forward in this universe. So we do. There's no mystery. How about me? You know what I mean? I just think that's, that's what it is. I mean, you have to kind of go, okay, got it. Be happy for them. And I never want anybody to do anything with me and be unhappy. Not just to me, that's the worst. I don't want that. That's the worst. I want you coming to me because you feel obligation. That's the worst thing on earth, right? I don't want anybody trying to come to me in a relationship either that way, where they're like, I'm with you because you're my only choice. Or I'm with you because, oh no, I don't want that either. Friendships, I'm not into that stuff. I want it where you want to be around me. That's the whole point, right? You want to work with me. You want to sleep with me. You want to collaborate with me. You want to live with me. Like, it has to be coming from you. And people forget that sometimes. They're so busy about themselves saying, I want to go, well, what's the other person want? Are they giving in to make you happy? Are they people pleasers? They do that. And essentially, they're kind of happy, but not happy. No, I want somebody to go, no, I made a decision. I want to be with you, and that's that. So they're fully, in the end, no resentments can really come up because, like, no, you chose, you said you want to be with me, and I took it on as fact. Then we're good. That's what I thought. And if you're not good, then you're not talking. That's all too. If you're not talking to me and we're not good, and that's what this person did, I was like, it's just kind of like, there was just some issues going on, and I'm always open to talking. Yes, my life is busy, but if you are, I'm a network head. If you are on my network, or if you are a co-host of mine, or if you're somebody that I said I mentor, doesn't matter who it is. If I'm telling you I'm in your life, that I'm in your life, I will make time. That's not an issue. I will make time to talk to you. I'm never too busy to do that. I think people say they're too busy. I think I know how to manage my time. And Tony Moore will tell you that, because he'll be like, I don't know how he sit on a show. I don't know how James does it. He does all this stuff and then finds time to hear my problems and talk to me. I do. That's what friends do. I mean, that's what we do. I talked to Flobo last night. He was coming home from a gig from Palm Springs. I talked to him for an hour and a half on his drive home. Kept him company. I'll find time. I'll always find time. That's what I do. I find time. I said I'm in your life. I'm gonna find time. And I think that's also very important. You gotta do that. Gotta do that. So, and occasionally I support my friends and send, like, try this out, follow this person. I try to always push some of their stuff on my pages. My Instagram stories are always lit, as what the kids say. I have a lot of folks who watch them. I'm like, I didn't know that many people were watching my Instagram stories. I post all kind of crazy shit in there. Communication is everything. Brown 821, exactly. None of us are mind readers. That's just none of us are mind readers. We have to just kind of figure this out. Again, it all goes back to as I wrap this up. I think I'm on for an hour or so now at this point. Let me see how long I've been on. I always like to look and see how long I've been on. It's like, yep, 65. It's always at 65 minutes. I'm always like, how long have I been on? Well, I guess that's my lucky number. This is all to say, everyone. This is all to say that there are things I don't understand when it comes to fandoms, and there are things that just bug the shit out of me. And there are some strange folks out there. That's what I should always say. But then there are some lovely folks like you guys, some wonderful folks like you guys, the supportive folks like you out there that I do appreciate. I do. Because here's the thing. I know that I could be talking to one person, and talking to one person does not make a career. That could easily happen. I can be sitting here talking to one person a day, and that's it. We're kind of fun, maybe, I don't know, one-on-one. But I know that you guys give me my life on some level. So I respect that, actually. As long as you're respectful to me, I will always be respectful to you. Always. That's just, I mean, yeah. You give what you give, right? So if you give it to me, I'll give back to you exactly tenfold. So follow my Patreon, James Lott Jr. I have all kinds of goodies, and I got more goodies coming up, folks. So you can start at the $5 level and go all the way up. I have some fun extras on that channel only coming up. That's patreon.com/James Lott Jr. It's very easy and simple. If you don't want to do that right now, you can also buy me a coffee. Buymeacoffee.com, James Lott Jr. It starts at $5. And I just do a little pledge, and I get $5. I'll buy coffee, and I will tell you sponsored by you. So I really, they're just two little fun things that help keep me going in this crazy world. Like I said, I'm not rich or anything, but none of us are rich here. We're just working it out, trying to give you some good content. I feel like I try to give you meaningful stuff, like celebrities. I have more celebrities I'm interviewing. I'm interviewing a celebrity today. I'm interviewing an Emmy winner / nominee later today at 2:00. Who's a friend of mine. And those of you who don't know this, I'm interviewing Jordi Villasuso. It's going to be a good interview next week. We've been waiting to talk for a long time. So me and Jordi we've been talking already. We've been messaging offline. It's going to be good, folks. They got a few others coming. So I'm trying to give you good content also, good soap content, good behind the scenes content, so you can have something to chew on later. So patreon.com, James Lott Jr., buymeacoffee.com, James Lott Jr., James Lott Jr., and everything else. She's rich with happiness. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's time. When Candace was talking